I don't think I've done a modern car cleaning guru convertible top video, so when I got a shout from a loyal subscriber about his panoramic German oddity, thought it fit the bill perfectly. So as I say, aside from indirectly featuring a bit of light convertible top cleaning over the years, I've never intentionally put anything dedicated together. So thought this rare 20-year-old panoramic jobby attached to a minty fresh £500 E36 compact would be the ideal opportunity to finally do so. Admittedly, it wasn't the rankest roof I've ever come across, but it likely hadn't seen much love for a number of years, so reckoned it should still be able to demonstrate a decent before and after. Before getting stuck into the California's fabric top though, quick thanks to BOTB, the dream car competition company, for sponsoring the video. So to date, Best of the Best have given away 34 million quid's worth of cars to hundreds of different winners. But this week is an extra special one for them, as they've added a 50k cash prize to every one of the 108 cars in their current lineup. So up until midnight this Sunday the 20th of September, you could potentially win an old school E30 M3 and 50 grand for just £1.70, or a timeless E46 M3 plus the cash for just £1.10. If you don't fancy a bimmer, other tickets range from just £1 to £3.25 for a lineup topping Lamborghini Urus and cash worth a whopping 227k. Now, you've only got to be 17 to enter, but as I say, you do need to ensure you get your tickets sorted before midnight this Sunday the 20th to be in with a shot. So, with the owner potentially needing the car to collect his sprog from school later in the day, quickly got cracking with the roof clean, starting with a reduced pressure rinse to soak things down. Following that, a diluted all-purpose cleaner was liberally applied to the fabric top with a trigger spray before being left to soak for a moment to soften up the ingrained dirt. Now, while there's nothing wrong with using a dedicated fabric top cleaner, a decent all-purpose cleaner should be up to the job, and if you buy in bulk like I do, it works out more cost effective too. The APC was then worked into the fabric with a few different general purpose brushes to activate the cleaner, open up the fibres and hopefully free the dirt trapped within them. While soft bristle brushes are generally preferable on an aging top like this, to properly release ingrained dirt, sometimes stiffer bristles are required, but so long as you let the brush do the work and don't bear down too heavily on the fabric, a bit of moderate agitation should be fine. Now, although cleaning a fabric top is generally a pretty straightforward affair, once wet you can no longer see the dirt and are essentially cleaning blind, so need to ensure you do it in an appropriately methodical and organised manner, and if that means going over the same spot a few times just to be sure, then so be it. Once thoroughly agitated, the roof was rinsed off with the pressure washer and 25-degree nozzle to remove the all-purpose cleaner residue, which can take some time. But if you want to protect the fabric afterwards, which I did, you need to ensure it's all gone. I find that because the fabric is essentially woven every which way, rinsing it from a few different angles helps drive the residue out more effectively than just hitting it from one. While it might be tempting to then go straight on to drying the roof if that's your main focus, it's worth at least rinsing down and drying the surrounding bodywork to remove any potentially streaky overspray first, of which there'll inevitably be some, but to help thoroughly neutralise any APC residue and ensure the car looked clean and presentable for the closing aftershots here, me and the owner treated it to a quick contact wash, rinse and dry. Once all washed and with the body dried off, the compact's California top was opened to allow its edges and weird little mesh wind deflector at the front to be given a basic once over with a damp general purpose towel. As while a proper going over with a brush would have been nice, it's mostly just lubricated runners in there that you don't want getting wet. Plus the back half of these areas can't really be accessed once the fabric has been retracted, so a basic once over here had to do. Prior to protecting the top, I gave it a quick vac with a soft Numatic dusting brush, as despite how OCD vacuuming the exterior of a car outdoors might look, it's a good way of quickly eliminating lint and ensuring the fabric is as clean and contaminant free as possible before committing to coating it with a chemical. I'd brought along both the exterior and marine variants of 303's fabric guard products here, but from their descriptions, directions, suggested cure times, look and smell, couldn't tell any difference aside from their labels, so decided to go with the one I had the most of here, which was the marine fabric guard, as while not being a boat, the car does live on a coastal peninsula. Because spraying a fabric protectant like this can result in stubborn overspray to the surrounding glass and paintwork when working outside, instead of masking up the edges and covering the whole car to avoid that, decided to simply decant the product and apply it with a soft synthetic paintbrush instead. As you can see, it's simply just a case of painting the fabric with the Pongy Clear protectant to ensure even and adequate coverage, much like how you'd paint anything else. Now, while this approach might be a bit more time consuming in comparison to simply spraying it over the surface, you obviously save time with not having to cover the car, plus it's far more satisfying than simply spraying, hence why Mr. E36 Compact California himself had a go. Once all areas of the fabric had seen an initial application in the shade, the car was moved back to its original parking spot beside the fountain to catch a few final contrasting shots in the sun, as I know a lot of people will find this part particularly pleasing. Once I felt I'd channeled all the Bob Ross energy into the roof that I realistically could then, I wiped down the surrounding areas with a detail spray prime towel to leave it clean and smear free, and after checking that the material had fully dried in the sun, gave the top one last quick vac with Henry to ensure it was looking as presentable as possible for the sunny aftershots. So as you can see, the 20-year-old top certainly looked a lot healthier for its 4 or 5 hours of pampering on and off camera, and thankfully, despite its age, hadn't been fazed in the slightest by my repeated agitation. The fabric guard requires 12 to 24 hours to fully cure, but because the car lives outside, it was just a case of keeping our fingers crossed for the rain to hold off. However, a clip received from the owner the following day thankfully confirmed that it was doing its job and its application hadn't been a complete waste of time. Although the deep clean primed the top for a new lease of life, it was the protectant that really took it to the next level, so I definitely recommend doing both. So if this kind of motor tickles your fancy, give E36 Compact California a follow, as it's apparently a bit of a rarity, but either way, thanks for watching and see you next time.